Hello, welcome to KTEH Cooks with Garlic. I'm Lisa Anderson, and it's crush day today. That's right, not only are we cooking with garlic today, we are crushing Cabernet Sauvignon grapes so I can start making wine tomorrow. That's a whole other show. In the meantime, it's all about garlic. I'm going to show you how to make a dish that is incredibly simple to make. In fact, you will be amazed how delicious this dish is with only 4 ingredients. That's it, 4 ingredients. I call it Garlic Pantry Pasta, and it has, well, of course, pasta, garlic, breadcrumbs, and golden raisins. And of those 4 ingredients, the one that takes the longest to cook is the pasta. They're going to be done in about 10 or 15 minutes, so I better get in the kitchen and show you how to make the dish. Come on, let's go. Big pot, boiling water, big key to boiling pasta. So I'm using spaghetti in this recipe because I found that it's really the best one that works. Of course, you have to salt the water. Please, we have to pinky swear, no oil in your pasta water. Not only does the pasta not stick together, but no sauce sticks to it. So let's go ahead and pour a pound of pasta. It's about a package. And when you cook the pasta, it's going to cook to al dente, which is about a minute or so less than what the instructions tell you on the package. And al dente just means to the tooth. So the next ingredient we're going to work on is the breadcrumbs. Now the recipe calls for fresh breadcrumbs. Now I'm sure you have the green or the blue can in your pantry from when you tried to make chicken cordon bleu a couple of years ago. And those will work. But I really recommend the fresh breadcrumbs, and they're so easy to make. So you can use French bread, sourdough bread, you can use sandwich bread, wheat bread if you want to. It's really very simple. So just take a couple of slices. I've got some already in the food processor, which I think is the best way to make breadcrumbs because it chops them up really, really fine. And I think the finer the breadcrumbs, whoops, breadcrumb overboard. I think the finer the breadcrumbs, the easier they are in the dish and the better they taste when they get going with the garlic. So if you just take your breadcrumbs, you can make them small, medium pieces. Just don't make them the whole size of the bread. Pop it in your food processor. You can use a blender too if you don't have a food processor. Or you can pop them in the oven and put them under the broiler real quick and toast them up. So here, we'll just put it on either on or pulse, depending upon how fine you want to make the breadcrumbs. I'm going to let it run on for a minute and then give it a quick pulse. That should do it. Oh, that's the charm. Now, the recipe calls for a couple of cups. And a couple of cups is going to look like this when it's all said and done. And they're going to toast up really nicely in the pan, so it's a good way to go. The next ingredient we're going to work on is, of course, the star of our show, which is garlic. Now, it does call for about 7 or 8 cloves of garlic, and I know you're going to think that that's a lot, but it's actually not, because once it cooks up in a nice golden brown, it's fantastic. Now, I like to cook my garlic very thin, and have it in very thin slices. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Technically, I think the garlic cooks actually a little bit better because there's more surface area when it reaches the oil in the pan or however you're going to cook it. The second reason for that is that I like to make sure that people who don't necessarily want to eat garlic but like the flavor can see it and take it out of the dish. You never know, you might have kissing plans later on the day. And who wants horsehoof breath? Anyway, you can take it out if you want to. So in the pan, I got it kind of warm here. I got a few tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in there, which I think is just the greatest way to cook garlic. And just pop it right on in. Woo! That sound, the sizzle, that's what you're looking for. That's the sound you want. Now in this here, don't go ahead and start mowing the lawn now that you put your garlic in, or don't go away and start washing the car. You gotta watch the garlic. You're looking for the golden brown. And that golden brown happens pretty quickly. So we don't want burnt garlic pasta. We want this to be light and golden brown. It just takes about a minute, so keep an eye on it. I wouldn't even go get a glass of wine here. I'd really watch it. Now you start to smell that. This is what we're looking for. You see that nice, beautiful golden color right there? That's the ticket. And if you find that it starts to get a little bit too brown too quickly, don't panic. Don't run to your neighbor and say, "Help me." It's okay. If it gets a little bit golden too quickly, then you can add your breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs will go ahead and cool this down and you won't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and pop them in. And what we're going to do with the breadcrumbs is just brown them up with the garlic. How easy is that? Oh, it smells so good. And this is actually something you could probably use if you were going to make a stuffing during around for the holiday time. We've got garlic and breadcrumbs. There's no salt, no pepper. There's no other kind of spices here because the garlic and the breadcrumbs together, oh, fantastic. So just let those golden up a little bit. Pasta seems to be doing pretty well. Let's take a look. Remember, we're going for that al dente, to the tooth. A little crunch, but not overcooked, but not raw. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at the next one, which is, now the recipe does call for herbs. And I don't have herb as one of the 4 because herbs and olive oil are like, well, they're like oxygen and blood. You just kind of have them in the kitchen. So I don't really count them. But they are an important component to the dish. So you can use any kinds of herbs that you want. I've got some parsley and I've got some chives in here and some basil. It's entirely up to you. I like the fact that the chives give a nice little, kind of that little onion-like, which is almost like the end of a garlic. If you've ever seen garlic growing out of the garden, you know it's got the green tops like onions. You could even, if you had fresh garlic, you could even put the greens of fresh garlic in there. Love fresh garlic. So you just kind of rough chop this up, nice and fine. Let the knife work for you. There's probably some very professional ways you can cut herbs, but I just do it this way. All right, so you can eyeball it however many cups of herbs. I've got probably about 1.5 cups here, which seems to be just about the right amount. All right, let's take a look at our pasta. Now the package here said cook it for 7 minutes, and we're going at about 5 now. I think we're doing pretty good. Yum. Let's take a look at our breadcrumbs. Now here they are, they're getting nice golden brown. Perfect. See that golden brown? You see how they just toast up real nicely in there? And when you put this together with the pasta, you're going to be amazed. The texture, how much it works together. Oh, fantastic. Now let's talk a little bit about the golden raisins that are in here. This is about 1 cup, maybe 1.5 cups of golden raisins. Could you use regular raisins, the dark brown ones? You could. Could you use the medley? You absolutely could. What I would recommend you do, though, is just pop them in some warm water. Because before you get all your ingredients ready, just pop them in some warm water, and that will rehydrate them. And they'll become very soft and not that hard raisiny that you get in the package. And that way you just drain them off, and they're rehydrated. Fun. So now they're like big grapes again. Perfect. All right, so we are about ready to get this together. The thing about this dish that I really love about garlic pantry pasta is that you can serve it for 1 or 2. I've almost eaten the whole package myself. It's so good. You can serve it for a large group. You can make it a very classic style, like family style on the table, or you can serve it very elegantly. It's a beautiful dish, and it serves a lot of people, which today is a good deal. All right, let's take a look one more time at our pasta. Don't be afraid. Get in there. Give it a whirl. Hot, hot, hot. That's it. Al dente. To the tooth. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Pop the raisins in here. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Well, you will be able to smell it when you make your own. Now, I just pull the pasta out this way, because sometimes a little bit of the pasta water is also nice to have within there so it's not completely dry. I know it makes a mess. Oh well. That's what families are for. They'll clean it up for you. You cook, they clean, right? That's what I always say. All right. Just about the end there. You could use whole wheat spaghetti if you wanted to. You could use different types of pastas. Again, I like the spaghetti. I think it's a nice combination. You could try the curlicues or the shells. You could do a couple of different things. But so here we are. We're just mixing it all together. We might want to get a little bit of that pasta water in here. There we go. That'll just kind of moisten it up a little bit. Perfect. Now here's the herbs we chopped up a little bit earlier. Sprinkle them right on in there. No cheese, no anything else. It's simple. This dish is simple. Very few ingredients. Okay, now I'd like to put a little special olive oil over the top. The very special house blend that you don't let anybody have, right on top. And what that does is just give it, I call it angel's tears, kind of the best that fall from the sky. All right, we are set. Get your favorite bowl. Take your pasta. Look at all that. Oh my gosh. I wish you could scratch your television set and smell how wonderful this is. Look at that. Woo! There we go. All right. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, the garlic, nicely toasted with the breadcrumbs. Put a little bit more fresh herbs on top. My very special olive oil right here on top. Oh, I think we're almost at the end. It's so special, I'm out. There we go. Just a couple little drops is really all you need. All right, I'm going to taste this for you. Because I can't tell you it's delicious if I don't go ahead and try it. Yeah, I know, it's right out of the pan, it's hot, but that's the best bite. Now, pasta, spaghetti, you got to swirl it, you got to slurp it. It's okay. So I'm going to give it a whirl, huh? Need to eat and chew on tea. Delicious. The breadcrumbs, the crunchiness of the breadcrumbs, the silkiness of the pasta, fantastic. Then there's this beautiful balance of garlic, lightly toasted. The sweetness of the raisins, I think, does it. You'll be amazed. Garlic Pantry Pasta. Family style, elegant dish, classic. You're going to love it. Give it a try. I'm Lisa Anderson with KTEH Cooks with Garlic. Hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.